Principles of sports nutrition.
Somatotyping is a system of classifying human physical types and body shape. It was originally developed by American psychologist William H. Sheldon and revealed in his book The Atlas of Man. Human beings are categorized in this concept by a natural, genetically predetermined body build, appearance, and temperament. There are three types in the somatotyping system: the endomorph, the mesomorph, and the ectomorph. Now, Sheldon was a psychologist, so he wanted to help resolve the age-old question of whether or not our body type was connected with the way we acted. By exploring the link between body and temperament and interviewing hundreds of people, he searched for clues and tried to find traits which could describe the basic elements of their behavior. Each of us has the makings of each body type, but in general, certain characteristics of our genetic size, cellular makeup, and body shape tend to dominate, thus creating a visual contrast controlled by unique biochemical, thermogenic, enzymatic, neurological, and hormonal release sequence patterns. In essence, the endomorph is round, corpulent, and pear-shaped by nature. Arms are shorter, legs have large bones. The mesomorph is broad-shouldered, thick-chested, narrow-waisted, lean and muscular. And finally, the ectomorph is slim and linear and small-boned with long arms and a thin neck. Essentially, most people are either an ectomorph, long bones, fast metabolism, hard gainers they're called. They can't gain weight no matter how much food they eat. They dispense or discharge a lot of heat metabolically. But by far the largest percentage of humans, at least in North America, are classified truly as endomorphs. An endomorph has a slow metabolic rate, can gain body fat really easily, tends to crave sweets, likes to eat. In fact, endomorphs spend a lot of time eating and thinking about eating. While they're eating their breakfast, they're thinking about lunch. They can't wait to get their midnight snack. They often are ruled by emotions connected to the pleasure and opiate-like sensation of eating sugar and starch. The monkey on their back enjoys tempting them incessantly with mental images and signals borrowed from memory chips in the brain that stir attraction to smooth, chewy, crunchy foods loaded with sugar and fat. The reason that we have such an epidemic with obesity in this country is because most of us are endomorphs and most of us like eating, and we give in constantly to the cravings that we have. An ectomorph, on the other hand, typically does not have a sweet tooth. They're not nighttime eaters. They tend not to put a lot of energy and focus on food. In fact, a typical ectomorph will get busy in their day, forget about eating, and then they'll dive into food, but only as a result of not eating any. They tend to be lean their entire life and they never diet, whereas an endomorph is always dieting or thinking about dieting and is always struggling with the battle of the bulge. Now, the important thing to keep in mind with this system of body typing is that you have a body type and it's genetically predetermined. So come to terms with your body type, find out what body type you are, and then learn to work with the program. Ectomorphs can certainly gain muscle, but it's hard. It's harder than an endomorph. Endomorphs gain muscle more easily than an ecto, but it's more difficult for them to get lean and stay lean. Ectomorphs get no medals for being lean because that's their natural state, just as an endomorph doesn't get a medal for being fat. I was led to believe that I was a mesomorph because I kind of looked like one, but in fact I'm an endomorph. I can gain body fat extremely easily, and that is why, through the power of nutrition and science, I have learned that I have to sustain myself on a higher protein, lower fat, lower carbohydrate diet in order to stay lean, especially as I'm aging into my 50s and 60s. And of course, exercise is not an option. I have to move. I have to live like a farmer and a hunter and a gatherer and a swimmer and a fisherman and a jogger and a weight trainer. I have to put together a program that keeps me active and moving. I'm an endomorph. I need to discharge energy. But if you're an ectomorph, you need to learn how to conserve energy. You need to hit the weights. You need to create an anabolic flux. Weight training is the only way that you're going to put on any mass. Fat is not an issue like it is for an endomorph, gaining lean functional mass, and the only way you can do that is through progressive resistance training. For the rest of the day after the workout, which has got to be short and brief and intense and sweet, you've got to learn how to sedate and calm your physiology. The endo has to learn how to stimulate it. You need to go for walks. You need to eat spicy food. You have to get involved in all kinds of other activities that are more physical than mental so that you can distract yourself away from thinking about and eating too much of the wrong food. If you're struggling with some facet of body composition management, you can't gain mass or you can't lose it, you're most likely not aware to the full extent possible of your somatotype. Check it out. There's lots to learn and lots of advantages to gain.